watching Let's Chat.
And we're resuming our chat this morning with Chattanooga Mayoral candidate Kim White. Kim, thanks again for joining us. Talked going into the break about some residential development. Let's expand beyond that and hit business development. You have a plan for that as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things that we need to be doing, especially coming out of COVID. How can we actually hit the ground running, recruiting business, but also supporting our small and medium-sized businesses? We plan on putting an Office of Small Business Support that's not on the third floor of City Hall, but really is out in the community, helping support those businesses that have been struggling, especially during COVID.
And a lot of them have struggled their way out of business.
Yes, we've lost so many businesses that have been really the piece of a Chattanooga story.
Do you have an idea of how to bring some of those businesses back?
Well, I think one, we need to identify what resources are available. There is going to be a lot of resources from President Biden's administration that we need to make sure we deploy quickly. We need to go out and make sure that the city is easier to do business with, so people that want to grow a business or start a business really can do that. Right now, there's so much red tape that they have to go through.
Sure.
So whether it's grants, I think it's really more getting out and having those conversations and seeing what we can do as a city administration to help.
Without naming administrations, in years past, there has been sort of a mindset, if you will. If your business level is not up to here, don't even bother trying anybody at City Hall for it.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be a very proactive administration.
So you're going to reach out for business.
We've got to reach out. And I look at what's happened, again, during COVID. I think we've had to rethink a lot of things. Before COVID, small and medium-sized businesses, we heard, felt like they'd been left out. And we only give incentives, we only do things for the large employers. Right. And those are great that we have large employers. But again, the backbone of our city is small and medium-sized businesses, so that's going to be our emphasis.
Threading throughout our city are streets. Threading throughout those streets and byways are potholes and roads, not just potholes, but roads. They need to be totally redone. It looks like some of these were done kind of half-baked to begin with.
Yeah.
What's your plan to tackle that?
Yeah, so we've had administrations that have focused on fixing potholes, but my administration is focused on paving and really looking at long-term solutions. So we're going to put more funds in it, but again, there's going to be a big infrastructure bill that comes out of Washington. We're going to make sure we advocate for our fair share, and we'll have a plan to actually tackle some of those tough roads, like Hamill Road and Davidson Road, and I have a whole list of roads that people have called me about. I've been out there looking at those roads. So we have not really prepared our city for the right kind of growth, and we're at a point that it's become critical. The good news is we're going to get money from the federal government to help us with some of that.
I would ask you about bike lanes. This whole bike lane thing, while good and it has its place, there are some roads that have bike lanes that you can sit out there for 24 hours. You would not see a single bike. Is it conceivable some of those could be repaved and repurposed for automobile traffic?
Well, I think that, we got to use common sense. So you're right. There are some roads there is no way anybody would ever ride a bicycle on them. We've put, I think, too much emphasis on that. Walkable, bikeable city is really, really important, but it's got to be in the right place. I know that the bike lanes on Broad Street, I've said I can't wait to have a parade to tear up the curb because that was one that just wasn't executed properly. So I think we've got to rethink that. So as a city administration, we've got to say, sometimes we make mistakes, and when we do, just fix them. So I think that's one we should have fixed several years ago.
One thing we talked about a little bit earlier is energizing, and you got to have money to do that sometimes. What does it take to revitalize some parts of the inner city that we have? Some of them are doing great. Other areas, it seems like they just need a little bump. What do you think?
No, I agree, Chip. Since I announced, that's where I've spent my time, is in neighborhoods. One of the things that really compelled me to run for mayor is I saw so many neighborhoods that have been left out of the equation. So it really goes into the neighborhoods, and that's what I've done to get input about what's needed. In some neighborhoods, it's a park, and some it's affordable housing, and some it's jobs. So I think we look at how we actually plan community up, not top down. I'm not going to be a mayor that comes in and tells the neighborhoods what they need. I want to help give resources to help lift those up. So I think there's opportunity in every single neighborhood.
We're back with more with Chattanooga Mayoral candidate Kim White right after this on Let's Chat.